Paris, August 27, 2025. The clay courts of Roland Garros, better known for hosting tennis champions, today became the arena for a different kind of match, one that could reshape relations between West Africa and Europe. At the Rencontre des Entrepreneurs de France, Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye stood before France's most influential business leaders with a message: Dakar and Paris are ready to turn a new page. Since taking office in 2024, Faye has navigated a delicate relationship with France. His government initially distanced itself from Paris, in part reflecting popular sentiment back home that sought greater autonomy from the former colonial power. Yet in Paris, the president announced a reset. Together with President Emmanuel Macron, he pledged to give what he called a new momentum to Franco-Senegalese cooperation. In his words, without ambition, nothing could be achieved together. And crucially, that ambition, he declared, must come from the private sector. It is you who create wealth and jobs, Faye told the business leaders. It is you who innovate to help address the challenges of today and tomorrow. It was both an invitation and a challenge for French investors to see Senegal not as a peripheral market, but as a partner at the heart of Africa's future. The stakes are high. Senegal today faces economic headwinds that threaten its stability. Its budget deficit stands at 14%, more than double the recommended threshold for developing economies. Public debt has surged to 119% of GDP, raising questions about sustainability. For Faye, the answer lies in growth and in partnerships that can attract capital, technology, and expertise. He was quick to highlight Senegal's bright spots. Growth is strong, he insisted, driven by the energy sector and the progressive development of gas and oil resources. For a nation perched on untapped reserves in the Atlantic, hydrocarbons offer a pathway to transform its fiscal base. But Faye also emphasized prudence. His government, he said, is pursuing rigorous management of public finances to ensure long-term sustainability and build investor confidence. Equally important, he reminded his audience, is protecting the everyday lives of citizens. We are committed to protecting the purchasing power of our citizens, he said, and to maintaining a peaceful social climate. In a region often shaken by unrest, the message was clear. Senegal's leadership understands that no investment can thrive without stability at home. That stability, Faye argued, also depends on modernizing the rules of the game. He unveiled reforms already underway, a sweeping review of 3 critical codes: the Investment Code, the Customs Code, and the General Tax Code. The goal, he explained, is to lighten the tax burden, simplify procedures, improve predictability, and strengthen the business climate. For French companies long wary of bureaucratic hurdles in African markets, this pledge to deregulate and streamline was music to the ears. Yet Faye saved his most striking appeal for the demographic engine powering Senegal's future: its youth. The youth, he told the French entrepreneurs, is without a doubt the most qualified player to win this game for the future. With nearly 70% of Senegal's population under the age of 30, the president framed his country's demographic boom as both a challenge and an opportunity. To foreign investors, he promised a growing market, recognised political stability, a modernising legal environment, and strategic sectors ripe with potential. For France, this was not just another African leader making promises. Sitting in the audience were heavyweights of politics and business: Patrick Martin of MEDEF, Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot, and former Prime Minister Edouard Philippe. Their presence signalled that Paris takes Faye's message seriously. France's own economic ties to West Africa are in flux, challenged by competitors from China, Turkey, and the Gulf. The visit was a reminder that if Paris wishes to remain relevant, it must seize the opportunities Dakar is offering. Still, challenges loom large. Senegal's debt burden is a sword of Damocles. Oil and gas may fuel growth, but dependence on energy resources has been a trap for many nations before. Social stability, though prioritised, can be fragile when living costs rise, and reforms to taxation and investment codes take time to implement and even longer to bear fruit. But in Paris, Faye's words carried confidence. This was not a leader asking for aid. This was a president inviting investment, promising reforms, and positioning Senegal as a partner in innovation and growth. The subtext was unmistakable. The era of paternalistic ties is over. The new era must be built on mutual ambition. For French entrepreneurs, the opportunity is tangible. Senegal's stability contrasts with turbulence in parts of the Sahel. Its legal modernisation offers clarity rare in the region. Its youth provides a workforce hungry for opportunity, and its strategic Atlantic coastline, soon home to oil and gas exports, places it on global energy maps. For Senegal, cooperation with France remains essential but not exclusive. Dakar is courting partners in Asia, the Middle East and beyond. Today's speech then was not only a call to Paris, but a subtle reminder the race for Senegal's future is already underway and France risks losing if it hesitates. As applause echoed across Roland Garros, cameras captured the symbolism, a handshake between Faye and France's business elite. For some, it marked continuity, for others, a reset. But for Senegal's president, it was something more, a statement that his young democracy, despite its fiscal challenges, is determined to play on the global stage with confidence. The clay court, where rallies of endurance usually decide the outcome, offered a fitting metaphor. The game between Senegal and France will not be won in a single exchange. It will take persistence, reform and trust. For now, however, Bassirou Diomaye Faye has served his opening shot, a vision of renewed cooperation balanced by realism and anchored in the belief that together, Dakar and Paris can write a new chapter.
Merci pour l'accueil que vous m'avez réservé ici à Roland Garros et la volonté partagée d'aller plus loin. Mais aussi dans le cadre de la vision Sénégal 2050. Je vous remercie.
On avait le souvenir tous les deux de votre présence ici, lors de cette REF 2025. Accordez cette minute à prendre ce moment pour la presse. Et donc, notre séquence du Maroc. Puisqu'on sur cette scène, sur le central, c'est appuyé.
Avec le président Emmanuel Macron, nous avons convenu de donner une impulsion nouvelle à la coopération entre nos deux pays. Sans cette ambition, nous ne pourrons rien réaliser ensemble. Et cette ambition ne pourra se réaliser qu'avec le secteur privé. Parce que c'est vous qui créez la richesse et l'emploi. C'est vous qui innovez pour contribuer à relever les défis d'aujourd'hui et de demain. Voilà pourquoi le Sénégal avance. Sa croissance est soutenue, portée par le secteur énergétique et par la mise en valeur progressive de ses ressources gazières et pétrolières. Dans le même temps, nous avons entrepris une gestion rigoureuse de nos finances publiques afin de préserver la soutenabilité de notre trajectoire et de renforcer la confiance des investisseurs. Nous veillons également à protéger le pouvoir d'achat de nos concitoyens et à maintenir un climat social apaisé, condition indispensable à l'investissement et au développement. Et conscient que la compétitivité se joue aussi dans le cadre réglementaire et fiscal, nous avons lancé la révision de 3 codes. Le Code des investissements, le Code des douanes et le Code général des impôts. Pourquoi nous l'avons fait? L'objectif est clair, c'est d'alléger la fiscalité, simplifier davantage les procédures, renforcer la prévisibilité et améliorer significativement le climat des affaires. Mesdames et messieurs, la jeunesse, c'est assurément l'homme du match tout désigné pour gagner ce match de l'avenir. Aux entrepreneurs français, je veux dire ceci. Le Sénégal vous offre un marché en expansion, une stabilité politique reconnue, un environnement juridique en pleine modernisation et des opportunités dans les secteurs stratégiques à fort potentiel.